Part 2. Crimson Flower. Great Tree Moon. Field of Revenge. With the capture of Arianrhod complete, the Imperial Army moves to invade the kingdom capital. They plot to send troops toward now vulnerable House Fraldarius territory and plan to attack Ferdiad from two sides.
So, Arianrhod has fallen. Rodrigue, I swear that I will not allow your death to be in vain.
The scouts have just now returned. Seems the Imperial Army is marching toward the kingdom capital. Are you certain about this, Dimitri? As king, do you think it wise to intercept them yourself?
No need to worry yourself. Even if I am defeated, the Blythed bloodline will live on. And the kingdom's territory has never been rich in resources. If the castle falls under siege, our loss is inevitable. I will deploy my army onto the plains and wait for the enemy. Please position your forces so that they can flank the Imperial Army.
Yes. Given the present situation, making the plains our battlefield is a logical choice. I have no objection. However,
there is only one person I am after. I have no interest in any other prey.
I will take you at your word. Erasing the other child's existence is my task, and mine alone. I will get you back, Mother. I promise.
What do you think, Lady Edelgard? Will they shut themselves inside of Ferdiad?
They will try to intercept us. Of course, Ferdiad will not fall so easily. Even so, if we were to cut off their supply line with a large army, it would eventually fall. It makes much more sense for them to wager everything on a victory at the Tailtean Plains. The same plains where the so-called divine Seros defeated Nemesis, the King of Liberation, in a comeback victory over 1,000 years ago. And about 400 years ago, the hero Lug created the kingdom by defeating the Emperor of the time on those very plains. Their goal must be to recreate that scene.
Yes, I suppose so. Although the Imperial Army is powerful, if we were to compare the strength of our best to the best of the Knights of Seros, we would likely come up short. The Kingdom's army and House Blythed are also renowned for their unmatched persistence. On the battlefield, it can be assumed that their one and only goal will be to strike you down.
Are you telling me to stay off the battlefield?
Naturally. You are their aim, Your Majesty. You must know it only makes sense to keep you out of their reach.
And you must know that, at a time like this, I absolutely cannot withdraw.
Of course I know that. That is why I will refrain from asking you again to stay away from the battlefield.
The Immaculate One, descendants of the 10 elites, and other extremely fearsome foes await us. But with the help of our friends, we have a chance of defeating them. We're the only ones who can. Within our group, I am included among those with the kind of strength we need to win. I absolutely will not remove myself from the front lines. Professor, you have that same strength as well, whether or not you realize it yet. Please, don't get yourself killed trying to protect me. Until the very end, we'll survive this trial together. Understood?
How about that? Yeah! Next up is the kingdom's capital. We're coming for you. Whoa, that sounds familiar. Have I said that before? Yeah! Let's do it, Professor. I just gotta get my muscles prepped and ready first.
They used to call my father the Shield of Fargus. Now he's gone, and Arianrhod has fallen. Yet the Knights of Seros remain, as does the Boar. What terrifies me most is his stubbornness. He'll keep on fighting to the last man. He's a monster. I've seen it firsthand.
I wonder what the captain would say if he knew we were planning to take down Lady Rhea. Lady Rhea and Captain Gerald went back pretty far. But hey, it's your decision. I'm sure he would have understood in the end. Now, onward to Ferdiad. I'm ready.
Okay. Professor, I'm sure my father will be waiting in Ferdiad. If I can avoid it, I'd rather not fight him. But I don't think my father is capable of betraying the royal family. Of betraying Dimitri. I must be prepared to do what I have to. Right. Professor, let's make sure we win.
Perhaps, if we win this battle, it will be an end to the kingdom and to the church. Under the Empire, an era of peace would begin. Many people are cleaving to this notion, but I wonder if it would really end up as such. It's true. It's nothing but hypotheticals at this point. I wonder, was the collapse of Arianrhod really the church's doing? Or could it be that... Never mind me. Just thinking aloud.
Professor!
Pardon me, I have a fiancée back home, and I promised her I'd come back alive. No matter how tough the fight gets, I won't die. I have to survive and make it back to her.
Is that so? I hear that House Blathid commands some strong and well-trained troops. People say they're fiercely devoted, and will gladly die for their king. Reminds me of Lenato's men, the ones we faced back in Magdrid. Unlike those civilian soldiers, though, here we're up against the best that the Fargus army has to offer. It's going to be a hard battle, but if there's a peaceful tomorrow waiting on the other side, it'll be worth it.
Professor, once you set out on your next mission, you won't be able to have a proper meal for a while, right? You should eat up while you can. Build up your physical strength to prepare for the mission.
I see.
Did you want something? Sorry, I was a bit lost in thought. Or rather, I was thinking about work. My brother had sorted out all his personal affairs, but apparently he'd forgotten about his work duties. So now I've got a ton more work on my plate. Oh, brother, why must you be so careless? Once this war is over, I'm gonna take a vacation and get some well-earned rest. Back home with my mother.
What? We're almost to the kingdom capital of Ferdiad. Just imagine, the war might almost be over. But is it true that Arianrhod was annihilated? What in the world happened? What is the Saros Church, really? Fair enough. Let's just focus on this battle right now.
What do you say? I've been thinking about how we've got our own ideas about justice, and so does the kingdom. And what's coming? It's not just a battle between us and them. It's our ideals that are fighting. Whoever wins will say they were right, and the other side was wrong. And I get it, that's how it goes. But nobody's willing to talk or compromise, so we'll fight to the death to prove the other guy's wrong. It won't be an easy battle, but let's make sure we come back alive. Right, Professor?
Professor, what should I do? Everyone's acting like this is leading up to the final chapter in a book or something.
Is the battle ahead really going to be that climactic? Am I not taking it seriously enough? You think so? Alright, I believe you. I'm ready for this. I am. Yeah, we're going to win!
A moment, please.
Okay. When I first enrolled in the Officers' Academy, I never thought it would come to this. I can't believe we're waging war. Against the church, no less. Yes, of course. Even if our enemy is Lady Rhea herself, I am prepared to fight.
The idea of defeating Rhea is beginning to feel more like a reality. Some may say that I'm returning her goodwill with betrayal, but I believe I've worked off my debt. The real problem is a certain someone else. That's right. She was my partner, after all. I haven't seen her since leaving the Knights. I can see her coming to slaughter me, driven by her mixed emotions of love and hate.
The Knights of Seros are led by the Archbishop herself, and the Kingdom Army is led by none other than the King. I have faith that the Imperial Army will prevail, but it still makes my knees feel a bit wobbly.
Professor? Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. The time has finally come to set out for the Kingdom capital, Ferdiad. I thought the same thing last month, but I still can't believe the plan was to ambush Arianrhod. I know it couldn't be helped, but even I wasn't let in on the secret. Me! Not gonna lie, that hurt a little. Well, let's forget about that. I'm praying for your victory and your safe return.
Hey!
I thought you were going to attack the Kingdom capital, but you attacked Arianrhod instead? Well, you sure had me fooled. She's a tricksy one, that Lady Edelgard. But this time, you really are going for the capital, right? I wish you the best of luck.
Hey!
Professor?
Professor, I have worries. What have I been achieving? When the war is ended, I will be returning to Brigid with much new potential. But have I had enough growth to become the ruler? I have gratitude. I will take your words into my heart. Brigid pride, techniques, and culture. I will be showing all of the world who we are.
Claude was known as the master tactician. There wasn't a situation he couldn't strategize his way out of. Whereas King Dimitri is known as the Tempest King. He is a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. We still haven't ever faced him head-on. Can we do this? Yes, of course we can. I'm sorry. I let my uncertainty get the better of me. We have you, and we have Edelgard. Not to mention many other allies we can rely upon. Together, we can overcome even the most formidable foe.
Rumor has it, King Dimitri is always accompanied by a man from Dusker with a terrifying face. And what's more, this man is said to be so huge, he's often mistaken for a bear.
If the enemy forces come to intercept us, chances are high that we'll clash on the Tailtean Plains. The Tailtean Plains were the site of a famous battle in ancient times, right? That's what some book type at the library said, at any rate.
How Ferdiad, the Kingdom capital. From the Empire's perspective, it seems like the northernmost edge of the world. I have come a long way following you and Edelgard. To think, what if I had succeeded Duke Aegir as Prime Minister? I would never have had all these experiences. I hope that is true. I used to be so naive. For now, let us join together and walk the path that Her Majesty lays out.
Hey, I could use a hand.
Hey!
Yeah. All right. Off to the kingdom capital we go. I feel like I've said that before. All right. I'm fired up and ready to go.
Personally, I take no issue with attacking Lady Rhea. But the eagerness of my fellow nobles does vex me, despite so many grand displays of piety from them in the past. It gives the impression that faith is little more than a tool they use to maintain their positions of power. If it is no longer useful as a tool, then I expect the nobles will cease to give it any credence. What is a noble's duty, truly? I hope we will discover an answer in the conflict ahead.
Professor.
That's right.
Dear goddess, dear goddess. For your safety, I'll do all I can to survive. But please, please don't die out there, Professor.
Hey!
Before I left the church, I recall Lady Rhea saying something strange. Something about how she would recover her mother, no matter what. Do you think Lady Rhea's mother is buried in Garrick Mach or something?
Professor, once the kingdom capital falls, all of Fodlan will be united under the banner of the Empire. Isn't it thrilling? We're going to make history. Yes, of course. I'll do my best. Our opponents may be strong, but with you on our side, we can't lose.
This month, we will take all of the military force we can muster and advance to the kingdom capital of Ferdiad. I have no intention of retreating to Garrick Mach after we've come this far. We will only return after we've conquered Ferdiad and put an end to this war. Be sure to steel your heart and ready yourself for the battle ahead. Are you certain? If so, please help me raise the morale of our allies.
Professor, looks like we're finally getting to the end of this thing. Don't go dying on us now, all right? Not planning on it. If you're still alive when this is all over, then I'll have kept my word to Captain Gerald. Let's both live to see the dawn of a bright new age.
Indeed. When Edelgard first invited me to join this army, I, to be frank, thought her dream utterly ridiculous. But at my advanced age, I was tempted by the notion of chasing a seemingly impossible dream through blood, sweat, and tears. 5 years on, the unification of Fodlan is slowly becoming a reality. Now I feel it may soon be possible to abolish the nobility and create a world where none need suffer due to crests. You need not say anything. I will stay by your side, and hers, to the very end.
Professor, do you mind if I complain about something, well, personal? Of course you don't. This army is almost all single men. If that marital status came before or during the war, I'm not to say. The point is, I'm in charge of the infirmary. I wind up treating hundreds of men every week. I get to talk to all sorts of men from all walks of life, all of the time. And yet... yeah, I'm starting to figure that's the most realistic option. At this point, you're the only man who pays attention to me. I guess I'll have to take what I can get.
Hey, you.
That reminds...
Over 1,000 years ago now, not long after the Adrestian Empire was founded, the first emperor and his army, with the aid of Saros, set out on a campaign to the north with the aim of unifying Fodlan. Meanwhile, in the northern reaches of Fodlan, Nemesis, the king of liberation, raised an army to take down the Empire. Both armies clashed on the Tailtean Plains, where Saros felled Nemesis. As a result, the conflict ended in a victory for the Empire. It's known as the Battle of Tailtean.
Lord Arundel. As long as he exists, Lady Edelgard will... I believe I have explained before that he is the one who commanded the likes of Solon and Crania. Cornelia, whom we defeated at Arianrhod, was also one of his. An irksome sort. We must not fail to be rid of him. He is a maggot, crawling in the filth of the world, feeding off the Empire like a parasite.
When you think of it, as one approaches the end of a war, the sacrifices only grow larger, don't they? The winning side musters their forces and attempts to strike a decisive blow, while those of the losing side make desperate attempts to turn the war in their favor. Neither side will give. I only wish we'd consider those who lose their lives in that struggle. I can appreciate that, but just because a choice is better does not mean that it's good.